So, welcome to a new episode of Bleed Purple and Gold. As you know, I am Brian Janu, the host of it. Um, like always, on all podcast platforms everywhere, BrandonJaneauShow. Social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, BrandonJaneauShow, and of course, like always, YouTube channel, man. BrandonJaneauShow. You go there and subscribe, leave comments, whatever, man. And I hope you guys enjoy this, man. Like I said, it's bleed purple and gold. Now the game is still being played. Got a minute and 29 seconds left, but LSU is pretty much going to win this, which will give them their seventh win on the season. Depending on what the score is going to be when it's all said and done, LSU is going to be scoring 52 points. Looks like tonight over the Florida Gators. The game pretty much showed what this team is pretty much is. Um, Offensively, you can't really stop them. Um, what they can do offensively, Jayden McDaniels, um, man, I'm gonna be honest, should be the Heisman in the Heisman conversation. I know LSU has three losses. The Florida State game is really the only game you can physically say he just didn't show up in the second half. He just didn't play great in that first game that they played this season during the season. Uh, with Florida State, he just didn't play really well. But the Ole Miss loss, he dominated that game. And last week, he was pretty good. Last week, I mean, if he doesn't get concussed, um, I don't think we win that game because our defense literally could not stop a soul. But um, to have the game he had before he got concussed, I mean, he probably would have, you know, put up numbers like he did tonight. I mean, the dude ran for over 200 yards, two rushing touchdowns, one for like 75 yards. I think one was like for like 70, like 80 something yards. I think he ran for like one for like 80 yards. The other one was like 51 or 41 yards. Like, dude ran for 200 yards on the ground, two touchdowns on the ground, and dude for two other touchdowns. Well, yeah, two other touchdowns, 300 and I think 330 yards passing, or 350 yards passing. Anyway it goes, man, this dude is on another freaking level, dude. Like this dude is just on another level. I hate the fact that he technically won't probably get the Heisman look because of the fact that he can't because you know how the team performed this year. But at the end of the day, man, it's if Caleb Williams is gonna probably get in the conversation of Heisman, who also has three losses, and on top of that, the three losses he has, he wasn't that great in those three losses. I mean, the Notre Dame game he lost. The I mean Washington last week he played his ass off last week, but the Notre Dame game he shit the bed in as well. So that's one of his shit the bed games. Um, can't remember the second loss. Oh, the Utah game. So if you look at the teams that Jayden McDaniels lost to, Florida State, who's still in the top five of the polls, and Ole Miss, who lost to Georgia tonight, but he torched that defense as well. And then you look at last week against Alabama, who is probably going to be in the tops of the polls next week. So I mean, yeah, I mean this is kind of uh, and even that game he torched Alabama for a good bit. So I can't even sit here and and not give this man some credit of his Heisman nomination. Man, that dude deserves the Heisman nomination. LSU's defense did what I expected LSU defense to do. I mean, they played a little bit better. They seemed like they were more fired up tonight after what they pretty much didn't do last goddamn week, which which was like not show up. They just did not show up last week. Um, there was times where that defense literally just could not get off the field last week. Tonight, not the same case. Um, like I've said about LSU's defense, they are literally the epitome of they're literally the Saints. They're the Saints defense. Athletic quarterback kills them because they have that secondary is not built to hold. for you know you know minutes on minutes, like seconds on seconds. Like they're not built to hold in the secondary without at least holding someone or keeping someone from getting to where they need to be. So I feel like at the end of the day, man, the defense did exactly what it is. But Jaden McDaniels, man, um, I really do feel like if he doesn't have three losses, he's in a conversation of Heisman. I mean, the man barely has an interception. I mean, the man has what now? I think he threw for two touchdowns, three touchdowns tonight. Um, ran for two. It's getting to the point now where you gotta have the conversation, which is something I think a lot of people won't want to have, and that is the fact that I think the only person we can sit up here, I can literally sit up here and say, maybe Bo Nix and maybe Michael Penix. That might be the only two guys I can literally sit up here and say should be in front of him for the Heisman. And that is like that's kind of pushing it. Like, man, that's a hard thing to sell to me personally. It's just like that they belong in front of him for the Heisman. That's only because their records are good and they actually have performed really well. So it's a man, that's a hard thing, man. But for the most part, man, Jaden McDaniels did his thing tonight, like he always does, man. Not shocked, not surprised. He did his thing. Well, a little bit surprised because the man was coming into this game uh with this idea that he wasn't even supposed to play. I mean, this man literally was in concussion protocol from the beginning of the week. I mean, from last week because of the Alabama game. So he was in concussion protocol. We didn't even know if he was going to play, and then he plays and has this type of game. So it just tells you right then and there, man. This kid is just a different like type of level of caliber of quarterback, man. Like I said, man, I personally think he should be in the conversation for um, not just Heisman, but should probably be in the conversation of one of the top quarterbacks of the draft. I know people are gonna sit here and say, well, Bo Nix and Michael Penix and and all these other guys, but I do believe he's in the conversation for the top overall quarterback pick because for the last 2 years he's showing up and showing out. He's actually gotten better in the pocket as a thrower of the football, which is something that was kind of his the kind of that same knock that kind of Jalen Hurts had when he came out of college. I'm not saying it's Jalen Hurts, but it's kind of the same knock when he got out of college. A lot of people say, well, can he throw in the pocket? Can he stay in the pocket and actually throw the ball? He's already figured it out in college how to throw the ball and get things going the way it needs to go. So I think put Jaden McDaniels in a situation like a Minnesota who's going to probably pick late in the first round or uh, you know should I say San Francisco? A team that kind of doesn't really need to really mold anyone. They just need a guy that could come in and be athletic enough, and that's what Kyle Shanahan did with Trey Lance. Unlike Trey Lance, this kid has played two straight seasons now in the SEC and has had his most productive year this year in the SEC. There's no knock to him as a player that his defense just didn't perform. You give him weapons, he can score, he can do damage. And if I'm the San Francisco 49ers, I am definitely looking at Jaden McDaniels late in the first round and take him in as a quarterback because that is something that you need somebody that can elevate your offense, but isn't a project, isn't a guy you're going to have to do too much shit to get him there. He's the guy. So for me personally, man, yeah, I think I think he should be in the conversation of Heisman. If he isn't, he should definitely be in it because the Heisman race is not this 100% far and away somebody got the dub. Like that's not what it is. I think it's a actual open conversation that people should definitely have. Yeah, so Jamie Daniels went 17 for 26, 372 yards passing, over 220 yards I think rushing, two passing touchdowns and two rushing touchdowns. Like, dude is just different, man. Like we can sit up here and contemplate things, but like I said, man, I know he's probably not gonna go early in the first round, but if I am him, man, if I'm like San Francisco or Minnesota, if I'm a team that has the team already, I just need the quarterback. I'm looking at Jayden McDaniels. I'm looking at him, man. For me personally, man, the man is the Heisman. The man should be the Heisman Award winner. I will say Michael Penix Jr. if he doesn't get it. Michael Penix Jr. first, but I would say Jayden McDaniels is second. The man is yeah, you know. And all in all, man, the game itself, like I said, LSU's defense is LSU's defense. I mean, they played better tonight. Like I said last week. Well, here's the thing: they didn't also have to worry about a super athletic quarterback. You know, Graham is the quarterback for Florida. Isn't great. He's not some super athletic quarterback. He can run, but he's not super athletic. So they could keep him in a pocket, do what they need to do. Yeah, this game was what I expected, man. Florida's a okay team this year, not great and not super special, but they can give us a game because it's Florida LSU. I mean, it's one of those games. Anything can happen, but yeah. Um, I think they play next week. I think they play next week, and I think they play. I want to say UAB. I think is the team they play next week. I can't freaking remember. And then I know they got like a bye week, and then they play Texas A&M. Is the last game of the year. Um, I want to say he played him at College Station. So his numbers at the end of the day with Jay McDaniels' numbers was 372 yards passing, three passing touchdowns, 234 yards rushing, and two rushing touchdowns. And he's not in the Heisman conversation. What the fuck is going on? Anyway, but next week, like I said, I think LSU plays. I gotta check the schedule, and if so, then I'll be back on here to do purple and gold next Saturday. I know they're not gonna play. They might play that Thursday. They might play like Thursday. I don't think they're gonna play on Thanksgiving because Thanksgiving is that Thursday. But they probably play like that Friday or that Saturday. And I'm gonna be pretty much shit. I'm kind of be in the. I think they play that like that Friday right after Thanksgiving. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm not sure. Um, but I know this, man. LSU also tonight did an amazing job. Uh LSU had 606 total yards, 606 total yards of offense, and that's a SEC school record. That's crazy because that mean that Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, that team, that offense of that caliber of offense didn't even put up these many yards in a game, and that offense was the greatest offense I've ever seen in college football. Greater than the USC offense, greater than like when they had Reggie Bush and and Matt Leinart. Like that was a hell of an offense. Vince Young's Texas offenses was pretty damn good. Um, I've seen some great college offenses, but LSU man is one of them offenses, man. So, um, like I said, LSU wins, man. Like I said, if Jayden McDaniels is not in the Heisman conversation by the end of after this game, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Like I literally don't know what the fuck to tell you. Um, Definitely, man. But until then, man, like I said, I think they play next week. But if not, then they don't buy. Then that gives me an extra week to just wait for the season to be over. But they only got two more games left. LSU's got literally two more games left um before the end of the season. Like I said, I think they got UAB and then they got Texas A&M. So yeah, those are the last two games I think for the LSU Tigers. So two more episodes, pretty much. Oh yeah, and the bowl game, of course. The bowl game I will be doing the bleed purple and gold. But yeah, man. Until next time, man. I am Brandon Janeau. LSU wins 52-35 over Florida. Yeah. Until next time, man. Peace.